Hi you guys, my name is Guru Shakia and welcome to my beautiful channel. So today is kind of a video that you've all been waiting for, or a huge majority of you guys who follow me have been wondering, is Kundalini demonic? And I always get a lot of questions, like people, like I'll explain Kundalini in my experience, and yet I still get people asking me, is it evil? Is it demonic? Do I have to worry about seeing demons? And so forth. Happy 11/11, mid crump. How are you? Um, but yeah, I get people lately asking me constantly, is Kundalini demonic? In my own experience, I don't, and everyone can vary in their experience as of what they see and what they experience. But in my own experience, um, I have not experienced any demonic things in my journey myself, but it is a lot of fear that comes with the Kundalini awakening, because, like I always say, your beliefs are being challenged and so forth. But today I have with me a book here um, about Kundalini, the evolution and enlightenment of Kundalini and Kundalini yoga. So I'm kind of going to take these sources and read to you guys what the definition of Kundalini is, and touch on a few like highlighted things about Kundalini, and kind of compare it to the questions that you guys been asking, if Kundalini is demonic. And of course, this is a live video, so if any of you guys have questions that you want to ask as I go along, as I'm reading from this source, and this book is by John White. So, The Evolution and Enlightenment of Kundalini. I actually just got this. I got a few books here from a library that I have near me, but I'm going to go ahead and touch on what Kundalini is really quick. So what exactly is Kundalini? The answer has many levels on which various difficulties and controversies will be encountered. So I'm just going to skip ahead to the definition. In general, Kundalini is a universal life force energy named prana by yogic tradition. This primal cosmic energy is akin, if not identical, to chi, similar to what the Chinese and Japanese call the life force energy, or the Holy Spirit, and in various other terms from cultures that identify a life force that is the source of all vital activity. Prana has not yet been identified by modern science, but in ancient wisdom maintains that it is the means for raising human awareness to a higher form of perception, meaning just it's everything to do with enlightenment, reaching cosmic consciousness, and things of that nature. So I'm gonna sum this up in a minute, you guys. Kundalini is also referred to serpent power because it is symbolized by a coiled snake. It can be concentrated and channeled through the spine into the brain, a process likewise not yet identified with modern science. All right, so I think I'm going to start with that there. So far, the definition of Kundalini is basically everything to do with life force energy and chi. So nothing in that definition said anything about demons or seeing shit. So I honestly want to ask you guys who actually believe that Kundalini is demonic, why you guys think that and where you hear these things from. In my opinion, and I could be very biased, Kundalini is not demonic. It is a lot to do with your spiritual awakening and your growth as a human being. As we expand, it kind of like goes hand in hand with opening your third eye and having your Kundalini awakening. Those things go hand in hand as your perception of the world expands as you grow as a human being, as you learn more about how the world works and how your intuitive side works. But in my own experience, the only fearful thing, I feel like a lot of Kundalini, of what people feel like is evil about Kundalini or demonic about Kundalini, is that we're basing it a lot of times off religion and what we've been taught to believe in religion, as opposed to the spiritual realm, or from scary movies put in society. to make us think a certain way about the spiritual realm, are our sixth senses. And I feel like a lot of this is going to sound like conspiracy theories or whatever, but I feel like a lot of why we're afraid of Kundalini, of the third eye, of spiritual awakening, these things are actually so natural to us, and it's gifted to us to use in our waking life, in our physical reality. But I feel like there's like this, it sounds conspiracy theories, but there's this hidden agenda that wants us to stray from our sixth senses, our life force energy, our Kundalini energy. Hence why so many religions make snakes seem bad. So many religions think opening your chakras are evil. But I think the reason people make us feel bad about or fear these things is because once we know this, our true potential through opening our chakras, or opening our third eye, or dabbling with the spiritual realm, which is really here to help us, not hinder us, we become powerful, and far more powerful than the hierarchies in society, which are here to control us, to always reassure us that we stay in our place, that we don't know our true potential. And once we awaken our sixth senses, and we're no longer fearful of Kundalini, things like that, we can no longer be controlled. So as long as we keep thinking from this conditioning since we're young, or like our preconceived notions that we get from religions such as Christianity, which is a lot of times fear-based. I'm not saying that everyone who believes in Christianity and all these different religions are that is bullshit, but I'm saying that a lot of times, a lot of religions not in modern day society teaches us to be deathly afraid. It's kind of like, for example, oh, if you don't believe in this or act a certain way, you're going to hell. It's not really healthy that to have religions that teach us if we don't act right, or if we don't do things a certain way, or if we believe in metaphysical things, we're going to go to hell. Like, if that's literally everything they're teaching us on a daily basis, so it's making us fearful of everything in our life. Even things such as the metaphysical realm or the spiritual realm, which is actually here to help us. But yeah, I feel like a lot of fear. For example, so many people have projected on me. I've gone through a Kundalini experience, and I had fear based on losing preconceived notions on conditioning, but I get projected on me on a daily basis. Oh, it's demonic or this and that, where nothing in my experience was demonic or evil, more so fear-based of because religion has taught us, be afraid of anything that isn't Christianity or isn't whatever you've been taught to believe in as you grow up. So it's more so fear of the repercussions, and it's the fear of repercussions that you're going to get from your religion. Like if you're Catholic, if you're Christian, you're more so afraid of what they're going to do for you dabbling in Kundalini or opening chakras or the third eye, or, chi or believing in energy. We're more so afraid of the repercussions that we're going to get, like, oh, we're going to go to hell. We're thinking from their mindset, not from our own internal compass. So until we can embrace an open mind and learn about Kundalini on our own, and embrace the experience that everyone's bound to have at some point in their lifetime, we will always be fearful and think it's evil or whatever. What I've noticed is that everyone, before they go through these kind of awakenings, or the spiritual awakenings, or learn about Kundalini or chakras, they think it's evil. And it's really based on ignorance. Similar to, let's take an example, tarot readings. When I figured out I had gifts and my intuition was strong, and I figured out channeling and mediumship, I thought all that shit was evil and scary because of the stigma behind it, because I was listening to everyone else. Everyone else doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. But until I took it upon myself to learn about my gifts, to actually dabble into things for myself, then I learned, like, okay, I slowly but surely learned that this isn't what everyone else is saying that it is. But mostly, a lot of what's the fear that we have with all these, the third eye, the Kundalini, is it's conditioning that we have to really unlearn so we can know our true potential, our true power here on planet Earth. All right, I'm going to start reading questions. All right, so I cannot pronounce everyone's name. I'm so sorry ahead of time, but I'm going to go ahead and read your question. One second. I had a premonition of my Kundalini awakening years ago, and now everything that happened in the dream is coming true. I remember clearly going through a depression for about 2 to 3 months and having a shooting feeling down my spine in public, and then seeing things that aren't there, and that was the end of my dream. It feels so close to happening because I'm feeling depressed. Please help. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try to break down this. Oh, guys, bear with me because this is such a topic that's like so in high demand to talk about, but I'm gonna try to like touch bases on as much as stuff as I can based on my own experience and try to be like as authentic and vulnerable and stuff as possible. But okay, so for one, whenever you have premonitions this vibrant and this like in detail, always journal it and always pay close attention, because chances are it is your guides forewarning you of what's going to happen. Kind of like you said, a premonition. Kundalini does very much happen like that at times. You do get physical symptoms as far as like a shooting energy up your spine. That was very similar to my awakening experience, actually, when my Kundalini awakened. It was very, very scary. I'm not gonna lie, it was very scary. Let's see. You said shooting feeling down my spine and then seeing things that aren't there. Okay, so Kundalini, it is an experience where you do feel shootings. Majority of people who have this experience, they report feeling a shooting spirit, energy shooting up their spine, because again, it's life force energy. You can picture like a beam of light even going through all your chakras from like the divine or the creator, whatever you want to call it, being awakened and connected to that channel. But yes, that does happen. That is actually something that's natural when you have a Kundalini awakening. And as far as seeing things, that is actually natural too. You're going to think when this, listen to your intuition. So if you're saying you feel like that you're about to have a Kundalini awakening, chances are you are about to have a Kundalini awakening. Listen to your body, and at this time, listen to what you need. You need lots of water. You need lots of rest. Take it easy. Don't overwork yourself. Things like that. A lot of times we can listen to our intuition as far as what we need, and don't clear out all the negative chatter. Ask yourself, what do you need at this time, and take care of those needs. As far as seeing things, you will see shit and it's scary because again, your perception of reality is being challenged. But it's no reason to like freak out at this time. It's just that, for example, a big thing that freaked me out was I didn't believe in the spiritual realm at all. But when I was having my Kundalini awakening, I started seeing angels and shit, and started getting channeling and gifts more. So I was kind of forced to believe in the spiritual realm. So that was freaking me out. So depending on your beliefs as they are now, you could be freaked out as upon like what you see. But just take it easy and just go with the flow. Don't resist, because that can only make it worse, I feel like. Keep a journal even, and really meditate and figure out what you need. But yeah, it's nothing to really worry about. I feel like when people approach Kundalini with fear, it fucks everything up, to be honest. We have to kind of approach it in the calmest manner we can, or we know how. We have to understand that Kundalini is not evil. It's just something different happening. It's like, picture a huge energetic shift of you shedding skin. Like you're a snake, you're shedding skin. Your energetic body, your physical body is changing. Everything's changing. It's like your DNA is changing completely. And that can be scary because it's literally like we're leveling up in our creation, but it's not evil. It's just change. It's just different. And anything that's the unknown and change and different, some people don't take that very well. If you're a person, again, that doesn't take change well, then it's going to be probably a little bit of a harder process to process everything. But allow things to unfold as they may. And again, take it easy when you're going through a Kundalini awakening. Let's see. Okay, so Mandy asks, do you do yoga as well? Sorry, first time tuning in live. No, yeah, I tune in live mostly in the mornings, but I'm trying to get better at coming on when more people are on. I just don't know when people are on, but I do I do yoga, but not as much as I'm supposed to. I feel like when you're a Kundalini, I have a Kundalini yoga book here too, actually, that I'm going to read a little bit from. But Kundalini, it's what's going to help you in the process of Kundalini awakening is you have to stretch a lot, or you're going to feel like shit, because this energy is very active, meaning think of life force energy and the channel that's going through all your chakras. If you're not getting proper movement, that energy is going to get stuck in one of your channel, one of your chakra points. Meaning, a point that I know my life force energy gets stuck often is my throat chakra. So if I don't move enough, or if I don't stretch, or if I don't do like head exercises or things like that, or sing or whatever chakras block, that life force energy is going to get blocked. But I also have a video on like how to move Kundalini energy. Awesome way to do it is dancing or yoga. But your body needs a lot of movement right now, because it's like your body is expanding and it's trying to figure out how the hell to process all this energy that Kundalini is like filling your body with. It's like literally like your body has been dim this whole time in your whole existence, but when Kundalini awakens, it's literally lighting your whole body up like a light bulb. And this energy needs to flow freely, so yoga is recommended. And actually, you're gonna catch yourself unconsciously stretching more and bending more and wanting to do things like that without you even realizing it. But I need to actually get back into yoga more. Before my Kundalini awakened, I would do yoga and meditate every single day. So it's kind of like preparing my body for an awakening. Can you speed up the process or assist in releasing your ego? Oh, shoot. You guys are getting deep. I gotta like think about some of this stuff. I hope this is relevant, you guys. Tell me if it's like relevant. If I'm still missing some information, I'll try to answer it better. But can you speed up the process or assist in releasing your ego? I actually have to go revisit information about the ego, because the only time I learned about the ego was when I read a book from Eckhart Tolle called A New Earth. And he brought it to my attention that the ego even existed, and that majority of the time that we act from our ego, which is like the false self, usually built over time from like conditioning and false beliefs of who we think we are, but we're not. And usually it comes from a place of trying to protect this false self and things like that. I can't say, I honestly don't even know if there's a such thing as getting rid of the ego completely. Some people argue that it's not something that you can get rid of fully, but we can kind of like dim down living from it 100%. Like there's some people you can meet and you know 100% that they're acting from their ego. And some people, they might be acting 30%, 60%, things like that. But I feel like once you become self-aware of your ego and that it's there, and the traits that you carry from it, then that's when you can start unlearning those traits. But the first step is becoming aware of it. And I have to get back to you. I have to research it more, but as far as getting rid of it completely, I have had instances where I had like ego death experiences, meaning when I was going through my Kundalini awakening and opening my third eye, it was like a period of 3 days straight where my ego dissolved completely and I was in a state of constant bliss. And it freaked me out because I did not know what to do in this state of mind. I was always, used to being worrisome or stressed, but those 3 days I had like ego death, and it was crazy. Actually, like, I feel like we're presented with those opportunities to show us what we can reach as far as enlightenment. And when I went back to my ego and being worried and stressed and stuff like that, I was like, man, now I miss those 3 days of egolessness, ego death or whatever. To awaken your Kundalini, would that be a bad thing if you're Christian? Oh, see, okay, so I just touched on that. I feel like whatever religious background you come from, that is how you're gonna feel towards Kundalini. I feel like it's a big, like, whatever your religion is saying about the spiritual realm, chances are that's how you're gonna feel about metaphysical stuff, the third eye, sixth senses, gifts like that. So, for instance, if Christianity is teaching, be afraid, be very afraid of the spiritual realm, that is how you're gonna look at things like this that you're learning about. But what you have to do is take yourself out of that conditioning. Put yourself in a space where you, like, let's say you weren't conditioned to, like, someone didn't just tell you this is your belief, believe in it. You have to really step out of those shoes that someone gave you to wear, take them off, and like become open-minded. And then you have to figure out for yourself, is it a bad thing or a good thing? I can even tell you as much as I know, but until you believe in yourself and in this journey, there's a reason that you're drawn to this video, for instance, this topic. It's because your soul is calling you to learn about it, to explore this new terrain. Now, it's up to you to be like, okay, I'm going to respect my soul calling and figure out what this shit is and be open-minded about it. Or you can allow your Christianity or your preconceived notions based upon the religion that's been bestowed upon you, how you feel towards new things. Because like anything else that's new, Kundalini and learning about these things is just another thing that you can learn about. It's not something that, I feel like we limit ourselves when we start saying, oh, it's automatically bad, so we're not even going to give it the time of day. You have to go and figure out by yourself. You have to be courageous enough, and overcome the negativity that you've been taught. Like, there's a reason why certain religions bash these things. There's a reason why this knowledge is kept secret. So, but you have to be a truth seeker and like, okay, to me, I don't know about other people, if some things has been kept hidden from us, I'm the first to be like, okay, like something's fishy about that. Like, why is it such a hidden topic? I'm a firm believer in thinking that hidden knowledge is the knowledge that we're most likely supposed to know the most about. And it's a reason because it has a lot to do with our power, our true power as human beings while we're here. Let's see. So you want to know if you can let go attachment to problems. Okay, some of these things I haven't like quite mastered, but I dabbled in these topics a little bit, like the art of non-attachment. Basically, I feel like a lot of that has to do with Buddhism. And I think I have a book here, The Teachings of Buddha. I haven't read it yet, but I feel like he was really big on not practicing non-attachment, and like basically he understood that the root of all suffering was like in attachments to joy or pain. But to let go of problems, to me in my journey, what helps me to deal with problems or cope with problems or to not worry so much is to redirect that energy into something that will be useful, like investing in yourself or self-love or putting yourself first and foremost, things like that. Or more so directing that energy into a solution more than focusing on your problems. Like something that I'm really big on right now, if this is relevant, I hope this is relevant, but visualization techniques on, because I grew up in poverty, for example. But now I'm listening to things like, oh, you know, it's good to have money, it's good to be a millionaire, it's good to be like all these things. But it's like trying to recondition your brain to not be filled with problems or worry or stress, or even having energetic blocks to where you see a problem, you get stuck, or you freak out, or you have self-doubt. It's really like you have to follow your intuition and figure out what you need, whether it's self-help books, whether it's visualization techniques, dream board, things to help you fix your problem. I don't know if that was even relevant, but hopefully. Hold on. Okay. The non-attachment to problems. I haven't completely figured out that exactly. I just know about like kind of like rechanneling that, and you have to figure out how to rechannel that energy and make it work for you. Kind of like becoming an alchemist. Like the original thing about an alchemist is turning metal into gold. So making light of a dull situation, stuff like that. So you have to really try to. It's kind of like playing with energy. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's see. So Randy said, "Well, I'm new." Okay. Well, I'm new to all of it. I'm new to my chakras. I'm new to the third eye. So I'm really trying to embrace everyone's outlook and opinion. Okay. So yeah, that's all you can do is like, really, I feel like all this spiritual stuff is really opinion based. Like you can listen to my perspective. I'm already going to tell you I'm not like the end all be all source. I don't know like everything, but I can give you everything that I've learned from my own experience, all the knowledge I get from books, from other YouTubers, you have to just keep drawing from different sources and come up with your own opinion. Because mine could definitely be biased as far as like saying, for example, like Kundalini energy and spiritual energy isn't demonic, but that's just because of my experience. And I'm a firm believer in knowing that society teaches us to be fear-based out of control. So we don't pursue certain knowledge, or we don't pursue certain interests, or we don't take it upon ourselves to learn these things and to expand. Let's see. Lawrence Knight said, are you familiar with Tantra? I am not familiar with Tantra. But it sounds interesting. Hi, Chandler. You're my favorite alchemist. Thank you. Trying to see if I touched on everything. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap this video for now and then come back later if you guys have any more questions. But I was gonna also read one more thing about Kundalini. 1 second. I mean, long story short, in my opinion, in my experience, Kundalini can only help you and not hinder you. Like, to be honest, I owe my whole spiritual growth and my growth as an individual and my self-awareness to my Kundalini awakening, to my spiritual awakening, to my third eye opening. If that didn't happen, I would still be a very low vibrational person, a very one-track mind person, a very closed-minded person, if I did not have a Kundalini awakening. So with that being said, Kundalini cannot be this evil or bad thing that people have been projecting it out to be, or so forth. Because I really owe my whole life to it, and my whole life changing from this devastating, hopeless place to like now the world is full of endless possibilities kind of thing. Yeah. So if you guys have any more questions, of course, you can always ask me or email me, things like that. But thank you for your questions, your time. I appreciate you guys. Peace.